The Grave Song. There is the island of graves, the silent one, there too are the graves of my youth. There I shall carry an evergreen wreath of life. Resolving thus in my heart I crossed the sea. O you visions and apparitions of my youth! O all you glances of love, you godlike glancing moments! How quickly you died! I remember you today like my dead. From you, from my dearest departed, comes a sweet fragrance, releasing my tears and my heart. Indeed, it shakes and releases the heart of this lonely seafarer. I am still the richest and the one to be envied most, I the loneliest one. For I had you once, and you have me still. Tell me, for whom did such rosy apples fall from the tree as for me? I am still the air and earth of your love, blossoming in remembrance of you with colorful, wild growing virtues, O you most beloved. Indeed, we were made to stay close to each other, you noble, strange wonders. And not like skittish birds did you come to me and to my desire, no, as trusting ones to a trusting one. Yes, made for loyalty, like me, and for tender eternities. I must now refer to you by your disloyalty, you godlike glances and glancing moments, for I've learned no other name yet. Indeed, you died too soon for me, you fugitives. Yet you did not flee me. Nor did I flee you. We are mutually innocent in our disloyalty. To kill me they strangled you, you songbirds of my hopes. Yes, at you, my dearest ones. Malice always shot its arrows, to strike my heart. And it struck. For you were always closest to my heart, my posse's scion and what possessed me, for that you had to die young and all too early. The arrow was shot at the most vulnerable thing that I possessed. That was you, whose skin is like down and even more like a smile that dies of a glance. But these words I shall speak to my enemies. What is all murder of human beings compared to what you did to me? More evil you did to me than all murder of human beings. You took from me what was irretrievable. Thus I speak to you, my enemies. For you murdered my youth's visions and dearest wonders. You took my playmates from me, the blessed spirits. In remembrance of them I lay down this wreath and this curse. This curse against you, my enemies. For you cut my eternity short, like a sound breaks off in cold night. It barely reached me as the flash of godlike eyes, as a glancing moment. Thus at a good hour my purity once spoke to me, godlike shall all beings be to me. Then you fell upon me with filthy ghosts. Alas, where now has that good hour fled? All days shall be holy to me, so spoke the wisdom of my youth, once, truly, the speech of a gay wisdom. But then you enemies stole my nights and sold 'em into sleepless agony. Alas! Where now has my gay wisdom fled? Once I yearned for happy signs from birds, then you led an owl abomination across my path, a repulsive one. Alas! Where then did my tender yearning flee? Once I pledged to renounce all nausea, then you transformed those near and nearest me into boils of pus. Alas! Where then did my noblest pledge flee? As a blind man I once walked blessed paths. Then you tossed filth onto the path of the blind man, and now he is repulsed by the old blind man's footpath. And when I did what was hardest for me and celebrated the victory of my overcomings, then you made those who loved me cry out that I hurt them most. Indeed, that was always your doing. You turned to gall my best honey and the hard work of my best bees. You always dispatched the most impudent beggars to my charity. You always crowded the incurably shameless around my pity. Thus you wounded my virtue in its faith. And when I laid down even what was holiest to me as a sacrifice, instantly your piety placed its fatter gifts on top, such that what was holiest to me choked in the smoke of your fat. And once I wanted to dance as I had never danced before. Over and beyond all heavens I wanted to dance. Then you swayed my favorite singer. And then he struck up a horrid, dreadful tune. Indeed. He tooted in my ears like a mournful horn. Murderous singer, tool of malice, most innocent one. Already I stood poised for my best dance. Then you murdered my enchantment with your tones. Only in dance do I know how to speak the parables of the highest things, and now my highest parable remained unspoken in my limbs. My highest hope remained unspoken and unredeemed. And all the visions and comforts of my youth died. How did I bear it? How did I overturn and overcome such wounds? How did my soul rise again from these graves? Yes, there is something invulnerable, unburyable in me, something that explodes boulders. It is called my will. Silently and unchanged it strides through the years. It wants to walk its course on my feet, my old will. Its mind is heart-hardened and invulnerable. Invulnerable am I only in the heel. You still live and are the same, most patient one. You have always broken through all graves. In you what is unredeemed of my youth lives on, and as life and youth you sit here hoping upon graying ruins of graves. Yes. To me you are still the shatterer of all graves. Hail to you, my will. And only where there are graves are there resurrections. Thus sang Zarathustra.